I want to discuss in more detail what to do to get 2 influence mods on an item in order to use an Orb of Dominance. And so we have these Redeemer shoes, which we've already alteration spammed for elusive, and these other shoes that we have alteration spammed for Tailwind. Now, obviously, one option is that you can just hit it on the alterations. You can get the 2 mods. You can get elusive and then some other Redeemer mod. So one is a prefix and one is a suffix. This is extraordinarily rare, but if it happens, you want to use a beast crafting imprint. You want to create an imprint of the item. That way when you use the Orb of Dominance, 50-50 chance to elevate the one you want. If you hit the wrong one, you can use the imprint to revert it back. Only works on magic items. What's going to be significantly more common is a strategy that I typically do, and that I went over on my last video, which is you just simply regal it, exalt it, and then annul over and over until you hit any Redeemer mod, in this case. However, you'll see as I went here, this is problematic. It's cheaper because we don't have to spend any divines in the process. We're just spending annuls and exalts. Not that it's cheap, but it's cheaper. What happens here, of course, you can see what happens. You can annul off the mod that you rolled, and you have to go back to the alteration spamming stage. So a lot of people don't like this. However, I do it because it's a gamble, and it saves you a lot of money if you can pull it off. Now, the other option I talked about in my last video was you go to the harvest bench, right? And erroneously, some people in the last video made in the comments that you cannot reforge an influenced mod on an influenced item. That is incorrect. It says right here, reforge an influenced rare item with random modifiers. Now, of course, before we do any harvest reforge, we need to protect the affix. And so, of course, here, we put on suffixes, cannot be changed before we do anything, right? Now, the problem with this is it costs 2 divine for the suffixes cannot be changed, and then it costs a divine for the silver life force, and then it costs about a divine for the amount of blue life force. However, I'm going to show you a trick. There's a trick to do here instead, and it all depends on the mod pool that you're going for. And so the trick here, we have these Tailwind boots. With Tailwind boots, we can reforge with a chaos, so we do still have to spend the 2 divine to protect the suffixes. However, we're going to force on a chaos prefix. Well, there's a chaos suffix, which is chaos res, but boots do not have a chaos prefix, unless they're hunter, in which case we can literally force on a second hunter mod, guaranteeing the second for significantly less price. We don't have to spend the silver life force that way, or the large amount of blue life force. Now, because we had our broken shoes here, right, here's another trick. What I did here was I was rolling to get elusive back. In the process, we happened to hit onslaught. Onslaught is a suffix, and so we can protect onslaught and force on elusive as the only crit prefix. To do this, of course, we have to fill up suffixes with just anything. There you go. You can force on elusive. And now it's time to use the Orbs of Dominances. Wah! Hoo-hoo! Yahoo! Wah! Hoo-hoo! Yippee! Well, we got the Tailwind elevated. That's nice. Okay, so to finish these, of course, we use the Awakener's Orb, get the mods mixed. And then we can do this right here. We can use a Wild Bristle Matron, because suffixes are full. These cost 1.3 divine. Look at this beast. What an asshole, right? These cost 1.3 divine to force on suffixes cannot be changed because suffixes were full, as opposed to the benchcraft for 2 divine. Now, we're going to go ahead and do that same trick. Because I took advantage of Onslaught, because that's the one that elevated, I went ahead and just went with it. And so now we have Elusive, Onslaught, and Tailwind. Downside, we don't have an upgraded Elusive, right? because we upgraded Onslaught, but that's okay. We forced back on Elusive. Now I put mana on. We have room for an open prefix. We can put on one prefix. I'm just going to hope for life. Threw me off because I hit mana. I was like, how did I hit mana? I blocked mana. It's, of course, this mana with Energy Shield. So, at this point, of course, we buy an Aisling. They cost 4 Divine at the time of recording. They range from, I think, 1 Divine early league, but usually around 2 to 5 Divine, depending on the time of league. Okay. So we buy this through TFT on Discord because you can't trust random people. So you have to do it through Discord. I don't really like Discord. Now, of course, if you look here, what happened? 1 in 3 chance to hit Elusive, and we hit Elusive, which we don't want. We had a 2 out of 3 chance to not remove Elusive. Now, a lot happened at this stage that I did not record. Why does it look like this? You'll notice the last suffix changed. That's because I went back to add Elusive back on same way, and I filled all 6 affixes. I had to annul, and I happened to hit the Energy Shield recharge rate suffix, which was good. It didn't break the item. And then at that point, to get an open prefix, I did Beats Crafting, add a suffix, remove a prefix. That got rid of 1 random prefix, whatever it was. Put on this Hunter mod for % increased strength, which was interesting. I was all for it. And so that's why it looks like that. So now we have to do the same strat again, right? We need to put back on suffixes cannot be changed. It's 1.3 Divine to do it this way, as opposed to the Benchcraft. Because of course we're going to do another Aisling, so big waste of money. And again, 1 in 3 chance we hit the Elusive at this point. Now I got mana here, which was not so good. But I put the Aisling on, and I didn't record it, but I hit mana. I kept suffixes cannot be changed, and I hit the mana, which was great. So mana was cleared, Elusive was kept, and we now have this veiled prefix. Of course what we need, what every boot needs, right? Movement speed. So we're going to block this here, regenerate mana. And let's go Unveil. There's a very high chance to hit some kind of movement speed. We don't know what kind. We don't know if it's going to be increased if you haven't taken damage recently. What I got was a cool one. I got Chill Immunity, 100% chance to avoid being chilled. And I hit 30% movement speed. I did not expect it. At this point, of course, we just replace the blocked mod. Let's go back here, and we're going to put on life. We want to get as much life as possible. 69, nice. Nice. So we got life on there because we removed mana, which was very lucky. And we got 30% movement speed. Again, I did not expect that. I was going to go ahead and use Divine the old-fashioned way to try to get the 6% elusive up, to try to get my only 4% increase attack, cast, and movement speed with Onslaught up. I was going to Divine it after, because I did not expect to hit 30% movement speed. I was going to Divine it and try to get that up to 30%. I thought I'd hit 25, 26, 27. And so we're stuck with mediocre influence mods, but we got the movement speed, the item's done.